Good afternoon and welcome to Trojan Stadium this beautiful afternoon. It's indeed a pleasure to be able to be here to celebrate with the graduates of 2010, their commencement. Welcome to all of you. This may not be the time, it's definitely not the time to pick them up. I'll just mention it so I don't forget. Somebody lost some keys today too. There's a little burgundy keychain here. You can come pick them up afterward. So I don't forget, I'll mention that now. It's a great pleasure to be able to be here today. I'm glad Mother Nature cooperated so well too. And as I've been preparing the last couple of weeks for commencement, I've done a lot of thinking about our country and the opportunities and freedoms that it offers to us. Today, of course, June 6th, this is the anniversary of the D-Day invasion, during which 4,000 Americans lost their lives. Last weekend was Memorial Day weekend, and I was doing some traveling, and as I was driving down the road, I was thinking about my parents and listening to some talk radio, talk about all that America has to offer to us, and that sparked a couple of thoughts. First of all, the thanks, just the great thanks that I feel for the ability that we have to have a country like this and to have a school like we have here. And also a little bit of sadness because I think we too often take that for granted. As I got to the hotel that evening, I picked up the USA Today from last Friday and read a newspaper article about Afghan schoolgirls who wanted to be in school so badly. And they had been attacked with poison gas by the Taliban. And the day after they got out of the hospital, they were back in school. And this is a country where 5 million children don't get to go to school, where 87% of the women in that country are illiterate, and 57% of the men. And it really drove home for me again a feeling of thankfulness, the opportunity that we have, and the reason we're here today to celebrate with these seniors, that they've taken advantage of the opportunity they've had and to celebrate their academic achievement today. So I'm very pleased to be able to do that. So again, welcome, and a special welcome to the class of 2010 as we recognize your accomplishment this afternoon. I'd like to continue here by reading a letter from Governor Culver, a letter of congratulations to the class of 2010. As I do that, would the Chamber Choir please assemble in front of the band and prepare to perform. Governor Culver writes, "Dear graduate, on behalf of the state of Iowa, we would like to congratulate the graduating class of 2010. The day you have worked so hard for is finally here. This is a significant milestone that doesn't come easily. However, because of the dedication, willpower, and strength you have shown, we're very proud of your achievement. We know this is a very exciting day for you, your family, and your friends. Education is a top priority to the Culver Judge Administration, and we hope you will pursue higher education and succeed in your efforts. We trust that you will continue on this successful path for years to come. You are proudly representing your families, communities, and your state. Although today marks the end of your high school career, it also marks the beginning of the next chapter in your life. As you continue to grow in your knowledge and maintain the course so that you may reach your dreams, never forget those who have helped you along the way. These are the individuals who have been the most supportive of you, who have instilled a sense of hope in your most difficult times, and have never given up on you. And this includes your family, your friends, your teachers, and community members. Remember the values they've taught you and show them the gratitude they deserve. Our state prides itself on the traditions of strong values, a spirit of community, and a high quality of life. Your unrelenting hard work will help ensure these realities continue to grow. We look forward to continuing to watch you as you succeed in your respective careers and make Iowa a better place. You are the future of this state, and we look for only great things from you. We wish the class of 2010 the best of luck in all your future endeavors. Sincerely, Chester Culver, Governor, and Patty Judge, Lieutenant Governor." We'll turn it over to the Chamber Choir. I'd like to take a moment at this time to recognize a senior who was a National Merit Scholarship finalist this year. The recipient was one of over 1 million students who took the PSAT in 2009. 15,000 semifinalists were selected nationwide, and then 8,200 finalists became National Merit Scholarship winners. Our local winner receives a $2,500 scholarship. Samantha Wexler, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you. This has been a year that has had a lot of heartache for some people. The seniors have lost a classmate. Some of them have lost other loved ones who cannot be here with us today. And anytime you assemble a group like this where you have a community, there have been losses. And I'd like to take a moment here as we begin this morning, this afternoon, just to have a moment of silence to remember those who can't be with us today. Thank you. Before I introduce today's student commencement speakers, I want to recognize and thank a lot of people who've had a part in the preparations for today's ceremony as well, particularly the maintenance and custodial staff who do a tremendous amount of work. Fortunately, the good weather cooperated and we didn't have to have a contingency plan and tear down and set back up in the gym. Thanks also to Mrs. Ward for program completion, Mrs. Flinspaw, Mr. Edgton, and all the senior class sponsors. Mrs. Neal for a lot of organizational work behind the scenes, and everyone else that I'm forgetting. And at this time, I would like to invite to the podium seniors Pranav, Sharma, and Ethan Newman for the student commencement address. That's all.
Good afternoon and welcome to the 2010 Good afternoon and welcome to the 2010 commencement ceremony. I am Pranav Sharma.
I'm Ethan Newman, and we're your class speakers for 2010.
If you listen to the lyrics our chamber singers were singing, you will recognize how fitting the words are for tonight's ceremony.
The lyrics, I don't know if I've been changed for the better, but because I knew you, I have been changed for good, are especially fitting.
Each one of us has had some sort of impact on another throughout the course of our education. And it hasn't always been positive, but it's certainly definitely changed us.
With all that's happened over the last 4 years, we have to remember that each part of it was important.
When it comes to the good times, cherish the memories.
And when it comes to those bad memories, there's no point to focus on them, or focus on what someone said or did.
In short, don't worry about it. Over the last 4 years, a lot has happened, and we certainly did worry about it.
8th grade orientation threw us into this giant world of high school. Everything was overwhelming and certainly huge. Like, especially the seniors.
They were big.
They were giant. Especially for two rather scrawny kids like us.
We were worried about being put into lockers,
Toilets,
and trash cans.
But the counselors told us, don't worry about it. But we did.
As we started freshman year, these worries stayed with us. We were still scrawny, and the seniors were still very, very huge.
Now, not all of us were worried about how big the seniors were. Like during float building, when some of the seniors thought it'd be fun to come west with our float. And our former class president, Fabian Vogt, thought it'd be a good idea to charge Woody Orn's car and hit it with a broom.
To give you a scope of things, Woody Orn is now playing O-line for the University of Iowa Hawkeyes.
The point is that Fabian didn't worry about it.
Now, speaking of our class floats, wow, they really sucked, didn't they?
We were not close to winning ever.
But don't worry about it, because I'm sure we had lots of fun forging long-lasting memories together in those hours.
Now, back freshman year, our class was much closer. For example, you may not know this, but the two of us were actually best friends in our freshman year.
It may seem odd because, look at us. We're completely different. Different backgrounds,
Cultures.
ideologies. But it doesn't matter because we didn't worry about it.
Now, sophomore year was a bit of a different story. The two of us split up apart in a rather bad way. We actually couldn't stand each other. And this happened for a lot of our class, with parting with old friends and not positive ways.
We each began to leave our shells and blossom into the young individuals you see before you today. We became more deeply immersed into our respective paths. We split into our different niches where we found what we liked, such as music,
Sports,
drama,
or arts. And most of us found our place somewhere.
Unfortunately, the fun was short-lived as junior year brought a lot of responsibilities.
Suddenly we were picking our own classes,
Looking at colleges
taking the SAT,
or ACT.
learning from teachers who fence and were members of the German royalty.
And we started driving our cars. However, some people didn't handle all these responsibilities quite as well. For instance, Jordan Morris went down in infamy a bit for his numerous tickets, such as, improper overtaking on the right side. How many was it? 6 seatbelt tickets? Is that about right? 6 seatbelt tickets, yeah, and a few other rolling cars and etc. here and there.
Other people didn't handle their driving well, like Pranav, who thought it'd be a good idea to not yield to the car already in the intersection.
Now, while handling these responsibilities junior year, despite, the valiant efforts from the cross-country and volleyball teams, we had a bad year extracurricularly, as our diplomas go up in the wind.
But yeah, we didn't do so well. Like football, not our best season.
Wrestling failed to send anyone to the state level.
Speech team sent 2 groups to All-State. We didn't even have a yearbook.
Yeah.
And our soccer team had another year under 500 in a row.
And basketball?
Wow, basketball. They sure did try.
But don't worry about it, because senior year, we stepped up and we took the responsibility.
Football made the state playoffs.
Seniors Logan Metcalf and Ryan Brewington continued Fairfield's outstanding tradition of taking wrestlers to state.
Soccer, for the first time ever, was conference champs.
Libby Schubert won the state 100-meter dash, as well as coming second in the 200-meter dash.
And our basketball team,
Wow, they sure did try. But don't worry about it, because we had wonderful halftime entertainment, courtesy of the pep band,
dancing drill,
and Jared Leonard. Now these victories came because of the teamwork of our senior class. It developed through our classes, and we became even closer than we were freshman year.
with all of our classes we had together this year, we spent so much more time with each other, we realized that not all of us are exactly terrible people.
Yeah, the leadership role was thrust upon us, but despite our differences, our camaraderie as a class led to our eventual successes.
This closeness also happened with me and Pranav.
Pranav and I.
Yeah.
Pranav and me. We learn a lot here.
But being put back together made us realize why we were friends in the first place. And like many others, we came full circle from freshman year, and we came back to the prior friendship we had. And even though we had a rocky past, it doesn't matter, because we
Don't worry about it. Through school, we've had to deal with a lot of goods and bads,
ups and downs,
highs and lows.
but you need to remember to focus on the high.
Because no matter what bad happened, don't worry about it.
Whether you got in trouble with a teacher,
Or the law, don't worry about it. Whether our activities weren't always as successful as we may have liked,
like basketball,
don't worry about it.
whether you thought, sure, I'll take advanced comp with Selecta,
Don't worry about it. Or whether you agree a week before you know to do an entire speech in front of hundreds of people while trying to fit 75 people in as they so nicely request their names be put in.
don't worry about it. And whether you had some fight some point with a friend or family, don't worry about it.
It is these teachers, coaches, friends, and family who have impacted us so greatly. Don't forget how important they really are.
And to anyone that any of us have ever crossed, we ask you not to worry about it. Because deep down, as much as we may not show it, we do appreciate and love you.
And now to our class. As we prepare to graduate, remember not to worry about it. At the same time, never forget the lives we've touched, the people we've met, and especially those we've lost.
And as we look to the future, there are plenty of things to worry about. The world just continues to get bigger.
But no matter what happens or where our paths lead us, we've learned things, have a way of working them out.
So to our classmates and to our tearful parents, we want you to remember it's all going to turn out and be okay.
Don't worry about it.
Thank you, gentlemen. At this time, Mr. Becker will be recognizing academic achievements, special recognition for the class.
At this time, we will ask parents and students to stand and be recognized for each level of honors. We ask that you stay standing until I tell you to be seated. Please hold all applause until I've announced every name within each category. First category is academic excellence, which is a 4.0. Derek Burns, son of Bob and Jennifer Burns. Alexander Greiner, son of Mike and Michelle Greiner. Alexandria Messer, daughter of Don and Jackie Casca, and Shannon and Paula Messer. Rachel Peterson, daughter of David and Judy Peterson. Alex Shubik, son of Jay and Kirsten Shubik, and Adria Shubik. Pranav Sharma, son of Upendra and Parul Sharma. Applaud, please. Highest honors, which is a 3.9 to 3.99. Mia Arndt, daughter of Stephen and Melinda Arndt. Sarah Elmore, daughter of David and Lori Elmore. Ethan Newman, son of Edward Newman and Beth Wexler. Jamie Shelby, daughter of Jeff and Renita Shelby. Ashley Thompson, daughter of Richard and Sue Thompson. A round of applause, please. High honors, which is 3.7 to 3.89. Lindsay Borgomenario, daughter of Russell and Jenny Borgomenario. Drew Coffin, son of Stephanie Coffin and Steve Wallace. Meredith Flattery, daughter of Mick and Sarah Flattery. Hannah Graber, daughter of Dan and Sonia Graber. Gretchen Graneman, daughter of Becky Graneman and David Graneman. Griffin Hamill, son of Dennis and Jennifer Hamill. Courtney Kerr, daughter of Mickey and Jody Kerr. Heather Mason, daughter of John and Kimberly Mason and Rob and Sherry Fort. Nicholas Morton, son of Greg and Luann Morton. Nicole Nelson, daughter of Tim and Sherry Nelson. Lauren Oliver, daughter of Ed and Trudy Oliver. Gina Savely, daughter of Charlie and Sherry Savely. Joshua Simmons, son of Philip and Martha Simmons. Caitlin Huber, daughter of Ronald and Jenny Huber. Samantha Wexler, daughter of Gail Young. A round of applause, please. And honors, which is a 3.5 to 3.69. Kristen Adam, daughter of James and Becky Adam. Brianne Book, daughter of Jeff and Sue Book. Duncan Cochran, son of Terry and Sarah Cochran. Nitish Dungana, son of Manny and Nita Dungana. Colton Fry, son of Greg and Lori Fry. Elizabeth Givok, daughter of Phil and Marcia Givok. Wilson Gent, son of Katie Gent and Terry Gent. Dalton Kane, son of Dan and Lynn Kane. Hannah Keller, daughter of Steve and Kim Keller. Ching Ying Lee, daughter of One-Way and Yuha Lee. Alexander Rebling, son of Russell and Carla Rebling. Erica Riney, daughter of Kathy Riney and Dan Riney. Libby Schubert, daughter of Deborah Schubert. Emily Selecta, daughter of Scott and Tricia Selecta. Please give a round of applause to these graduates.
Thank you, Mr. Becker, and thank you to the students recognized for their efforts in the classroom. I found it very interesting that this senior class chose as their motto a quote from Jack Kerouac. I had a passing acquaintance with Mr. Kerouac and the Beat Generation and his work on the road. And when the seniors selected this quote by Kerouac, I decided to study up on the man a little bit more. Here's the senior class motto for 2010 if you haven't read it yet. Here's to the crazy ones, misfits, the rebels, the round heads and the square holes, the ones who see things differently. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Kerouac definitely saw himself as a bit of a rebel, and I understand why teenagers embrace that idea. After all, they are the future in a rapidly changing world, and they are called upon to be the round heads and the square holes sometimes. In Kerouac himself, we've seen amazing complexity and diversity that is contained within this senior class. Kerouac had tough times in life, as we all do. He lost an older brother in childhood. This class has lost loved ones and lost a classmate. He had great promise athletically, but in his case, it really went unfulfilled. He came from an impoverished family and an alcoholic family. And Kerouac was a French Canadian for whom English was a second language. But he had a sense of adventure and a call for service that was present in his life. He joined the Merchant Marine, and in his time there and beyond, he showed a flair for stories. He was a writer and a wanderer. He was interested in nature and explored both Buddhism and Catholicism. In 1957, his great work On the Road was published and became sort of a symbol for the Beat Generation. Well, the seniors undoubtedly tapped into the spirit of adventure and zaniness that Kerouac showed when they selected this quote. They might not know that Jack didn't handle his sudden celebrity well, developed a serious drinking problem as he tried to live up to the wild image he portrayed. There's a lesson in that. They also might not know that as other beatniks became hippies, a politically conservative Jack Kerouac supported the Vietnam War, became close friends with the conservative political commentator William F. Buckley. Unfortunately, Kerouac died from alcoholism at age 47. However, we can learn a lot from him and from what he ultimately learned. We should not be afraid to take a chance and embrace the unknown. Life has a lot to offer out there on the road. We need to know who we are and what we stand for, though. And we don't have to fit anyone else's mold exactly. That's something I think this class understands well. Every single one of us is a uniquely created individual with his or her own purpose in life and own path to follow. While we have to make our own way, there are significant people along the way that we should allow to have an influence, though. Seniors, you're at a crossroads now. You can look back at your education and your experiences that have led you to this point, and you can look down the road a ways, but you really can't be sure what the future holds. I hope you will acknowledge those significant people who have helped you get to this point. Your parents and other family members, your friends, teachers, and other significant people. I also hope that you'll be open to advice as you stand at this crossroads so that you can make the best decisions possible, even though they ultimately will be your own decisions. There's a little poem that I ran across that stresses the importance of choices at this crossroad and the role that good guidance plays. It's called At the Crossroads, and it was written by Sadie Tiller Crawley. Let me share it with you. At the crossroads. He stood at the crossroads all alone, the sunlight in his face. He had no thought for an evil course, he was set for a manly race. But the road stretched east, and the road stretched west, and he did not know which road was the best. So he took the wrong road, and it led him down, and he lost the race and the victor's crown. He was caught at last in an angry snare, because no one stood at the crossroads there to show him the better road. Another day, at the self-same place, a boy with high hopes stood. He too was set for a manly race. He was seeking the things that were good. And one was there who the roads did know, and that one showed him the way to go. So he turned away from the road leading down, and he won the race and the victor's crown. He walks today on the highways fair, because one stood at the crossroads there to show him a better road. That might seem a little bit simplistic to you seniors today. I know that you live in a fast-paced, complex world. But you need to hold on to your right and ability to choose. You need to make good decisions for yourself so that you don't become enslaved to things that rob you of your ability to make decisions, whether that's substance abuse, unhealthy relationships, a dead-end job, or any other number of things that can make you feel like you've hit a roadblock. You arrive here at this crossroads today with lives full of possibility. Take charge of making good decisions for yourself and creating lives full of passion and meaning. Unite your gifts with your passion and just see what you can accomplish. Seniors, I congratulate you on your graduation, and I thank you for your contributions to your school and community. On a daily basis, when you show up and do your work and treat others right, you contribute meaningfully to school and society, even if you don't consciously realize it or think about it at that time. Let me leave you this afternoon with one final short poem that I wrote for you, entitled You Can, based on the ideas in your motto and the thoughts that I've shared. You can. As you walk today across the stage and on life's journey you embark, go with heartfelt joy, not rage, and embrace creative spark. If it's crazy, misfit, rebel you be, why that is all the same. Each and every one is unique, you see, and really, what's in a name? From this crossroads you move on today, charting a forward track, creating new trails as you go your way, and never doubling back. As you speed the highway of your life, seeking growth and gain, slow it down and detour strife. Turn down a country lane. See things differently, crazy ones, and know that you are who, in believing you can change the world, are the ones who do. Thank you. At this time, I'll invite Superintendent Acapul to the podium to present the class of 2010 to the board.
Would the class of 2010 please stand? President Miller and members of the Board of Education, on behalf of the faculty and staff of Fairfield High School and the entire Fairfield Community School District, it is my pleasure to present the Fairfield High School class of 2010. These students have fulfilled the graduation requirements set forth by the Iowa Board of Education and the local school board, and according to their individual education plan. The class may be seated.
Thank you, Mr. Acapul. President Miller, would you like to address the class of 2010?
Mr. Acapul asked me to say a few words to the class, and so since he asked, I will do that. Just a few words. Okay? behalf of the school board, we welcome you to your ceremony for the class of 2010. It's been interesting listening to your speakers reminisce about the past. It always is. And I'm sure your parents enjoy getting a little insight to some of the non-educational endeavors that have taken place in the past 4 years. It seems like all of us have hit the same theme today in terms of choices that you make. And I think I'm following that same theme, even though we did not write at the same time. The things that you have done in the past have become part of you. It's your own personal history. You cannot change it. You cannot alter it. You can only live for what you'd have today and for the future. So some of the decisions that you have made in this past have led you to places that you may not wish to be, or places that you are glad to be. Your past experiences may have, in many cases, been more educational to you than the classes that you actually took in school. But today is the present, commencement, the first day of the rest of your life. And so today, the decisions that you make alter your future for tomorrow. Tomorrow will come, and may you have many, many happy tomorrows. Short and simple, my advice is to you, learn from your past, relish today, and plan for tomorrow. On behalf of the school board, congratulations and best wishes for all of your tomorrow.
Junior marshals, please begin to line up the graduates. I ask that the audience please hold their applause until the names of all the graduates have been read, so that the friends and family are able to clearly hear the names of those being honored. If you choose to take photos in the track, you must stand behind the photographer to my right on the north end of the stage. There is information being mailed to you about how pictures of the graduates receiving their diplomas and DVDs of the ceremony can be purchased. At this time, we will begin the presentation of diplomas. Kristen Cheyenne Adam. Mitchell Bradley Anderson. William Cody Anderson. Mia Danielle Arndt. Austin Craig Atwood. Julynn Grace Beeman. Lindsay Lee Borgaminario. Jordan Allen Bradfield. Damian Thomas Brain. Ryan Matthew Brewington. Tiffany Mae Brush. Brianne Nicole Book. Aaron Michael Burke. Jason Knox Burkhart. Thomas Garcia. Meredith Grace Carnahan. Jessica Jean Kay. Marcus Jr. Clark. Duncan Worling Cochran. Drew Alexander Coffin. Sarah Rose Connor. Ashley Brooke Cooksey. Jamie Lee Cooper. Joshua Allen Cooper. Alyssa Jean Curtis. Brian Robert Danielson. Evan Ross Davis. Allison Nicole Delker. Nicole Lee Diornellis. Natish Dunagana. Mitchell David Dorothy. Zachary Dean Downing. Patrick Burr Duffy. Jacob Taylor Dunbar. Adam Blue Ejaz. Sarah Elizabeth Elmore. Tyler Michelle Emery. Samantha Clark Essery. William Christopher Evans. Cole Matthew Everly. Katie Lynn Fitzsimmons. Meredith Grace Flattery. Brandon Nicholas Ford. Colton Warren Fry. Gunnar Eugene Fulton. Amber Lynn Garrison. Cherie Adeline Gamine. Elizabeth Grace Chivak. Wilson James Gent. Gent. Excuse me. I even had a note. Gent. Darby Brooke Gilbert. Darby is being awarded posthumously today, and her diploma will be given to her family. Colby Wayne Gehring. Hannah Ray Graber. Jared Patrick Graber. Gretchen Catherine Graneman. Skylar Joe Gray. Alexander Michael Greiner. Kyle Lloyd Lee Greiner. Jane Ann Marie Grimes. Griffin Taylor Hamill. Caitlin Michelle Hammis. Sean William Hammerson. Rebecca Marnay Hawley. Amanda Marie Hostetter. Peter Paul Havorka. Tiffany Alexis Havorka. Shawan Eric Hung. Joshua Lancaster Hyde. Connor James Johnson. Justin Clay Johnston. Dalton Lee Kane. Olivia Lee Casca. Hannah Dawn Keller. Ashley Diane Kemp. Courtney Christine Kerr. Dimitri Kolovik. Megan Nicole Kyle. Emily Almeida Lynn Lemke. Cody James Lemley. Jared Daniel Leonard. Mercedes Ray Letts. Ching Ying Lee. Robert Xavier Lopez Bryant. Eli Eugene Lynn. Michael Jordan Lakshmana McGee. Heather Nicole Mason. Jessica Marie Matson. MacGyver Lee McCarty. Chester Laverne McKim IV. Christopher James Miners. Brandon Lee Merrill. Alexandria Ray Messer. Way to go, monkey. Logan Richard Metcalf. Justin Garth Miller. Cody John Moran. Jordan Andrew Morris. Nicholas Andrew Morton. Garrett Paul Nelson. Nicole Ann Nelson. William Heath Nevins. Ethan Alexander Newman. Samantha June Nystrom. Lauren Marie Oliver. Rachel Maureen Peterson. Rochelle Ann Pettit. Alan Timothy Powell, Jr. Alexander Paul Rebling. Ryan Matthew Reed. Brittany Danielle Reynolds. Brianna Scott Richmond. Erica Kathleen Riney. Darren Wayne Ritchie. Ronaldo Rosales. Cheyenne Nicole Ross. Cameron Malachi Sales. Gina Eve Savely. Derek Michael Searcy. Elizabeth Schubert. Alec J. Schubik. Pranav Sharma. Kyle Alexander Sharp. Jamie Sue Shelby. Deep Yvonne Shrestha. Joshua Ray Simmons. Emily Ann Selecta. Colton Anthony Smith. Laura Kareen Stark. Lucas Wayne Swafford. Thomas James Terrell. Ashley Michelle Thompson. Finn Leonid Trost. Caitlin Nicole Huber. Branwell William Vandergast. Kirsten Sue Vaughn. Caroline Anna Volmer. Skylar K. Voorhees. Samantha Wexler. Thomas John Welker. David Allen Wesley. Amber Lynn Wilcox. Brittany K. Winslow. For the class of 2010, please stand. Please take your tassel and move it from left to right, signifying that you are graduates. Please turn and face your friends and families. Friends, families, and honored guests, it is my pleasure to present to you the Fairfield High School graduate class of 2010. Graduates will recess to the stairs by the bell tower. The audience is invited to follow to take pictures.